There's a time when I swore to God that I would never complain about being stuck in a traffic jam after I was stuck in a foxhole. I never worried about seeing red lights when I was looking at tracer fire inches from my face as I clutched the ground like a child clutches his mama. I learned not to complain about the world when I was in Viet. Yeah, when I was in Viet, I call it Viet because a lot of guys call it Nam. I think they call it Nam, they call it Viet. And when I was in Viet, I learned a keen appreciation of day-to-day things. Back in the days when the name on my uniform said Greaseman, but everybody knew me as Sergeant Fury! Flying Tree, 1967. Can I make this confession to you? Can I make this confession? I loved it. I loved it! You see, you hear about a lot of the guys that say, let me tell you something. War is each generation's way of separating the men from the boys. When I landed in country, and they slapped home a fully automatic M16 in my hand, and sent me out there to track down the most elusive of all game animals, man. I'll never forget it. They said, Greaseman, here's your rifle. I grabbed that bad boy, and I crammed home a clip, and I just said, yeah! Everybody dove to the floor of the supply hut. They said, what, are you crazy? I said, yeah, I'm crazy. I'm crazy in love. I can't believe I got this bad boy. You want me to go out and sling lead, fight maggots? Yeah! I turned around to the leader and said, wait a minute, Greaseman, you ain't dead yet. I said, what? They slid over a box of grenades. I said, you mean these? I said, you giving me these grenades? Back in the Bronx, we used to have to meet a guy in a dark alley with $5 to get a lousy stinking firecracker. You're just giving me a grenade? I said, are they real? Let me see it. I pulled out the pin. Everybody said, my God, throw it out the garbage can! I think I'm gonna love this place. I think I'm gonna love this place. Huh? When do we go out? When do we go looking? When do we get the hunt? Lieutenant said, take it easy, Greaseman. You'll get your chance. You'll get your chance. And so I did get my chance. That first fateful morning, I blackened my face. I taped my dog tags to my chest. I took my bayonet, I put it in my boots. Bandoliers of ammunition. I tell you, it was like music to my ears the first time we were on patrol, when the point man yelled, incoming! I can see little flashes of fire coming from the bushes. I grabbed my M60, I set it up on a tripod, and I started to rock and roll! The smell of cordite in the air, the gun trembling in my hand, my bare chest, my musculature. I mean, I had a rise in my Levi's, but Finally, the lieutenant came over and said, Greaseman, stop it! He put his hands on my shoulders and shook me away from that gun. He said, it's over, Greaseman, it's over. Come on, move out. And so the team mounted up. They started walking off. I don't know, but I've been told that 2, 3, 4. Eskimo cooties mighty cold. To left, right left, to left, right left, to left, right left, to left. The lieutenant said, where's everybody here? Point man said, all present, count of 4, sir. Wait a minute. Greaseman Dalley's not here. He said, figures the new man had lagged behind. I'll go get him. And sure enough, I was still sitting there. When the lieutenant came walking up to me, he said, hey, Greaseman Dalley, what's the matter, huh? First battle. You get the first battle blues? It's different than you hear about, isn't it? Different than back in Quantico. When it's real lead, slung by real people who are real determined to kill your real butt. It's different, huh? Got you a little freaked out? I don't blame you for lagging behind. I was scared the first time I was out, too. I remember the first time we came under fire, I couldn't stop trembling for a couple of days. Of course, you'll get used to that after a while, and fire will seem second nature. It won't freak you out. I said, Lieutenant, will you please shut up? I'm trying to finish enjoying Rosie here. If you just shut up,